What's up, everyone? John Rettinger from Techno Buffalo here. HTC just took the wraps off their much-hyped brand new flagship, the HTC One. Let me run down everything you gotta know about this guy, and you can help decide whether or not it's gonna be worth your phone buying buck. Let's go ahead and get started. So the new HTC One isn't simply a handset that boasts a 4.7-inch that's full HD 1920 by 1080 display, Android Jelly Bean, a 1.7 GHz Qualcomm Snapdragon quad-core processor augmented with 2 gigs of RAM, 802.11a and c, which most people don't even have at their house yet, including me, or 32 or 64 gigs of storage. The company's crafted 3 very specific and somewhat oddly named features into its new champ, all designed to shift focus to the overall consumer experience and not just a spec race to the top, which we've really seen over the past few years. So within the confines of the One's zero gap aluminum unibody design, which would be available in silver or black, rests HTC's hopes for the future, which are Blink Feed, Zoe, and weirdly named Boom Sound. So Blink Feed is essentially designed to act as Flipboard on your home screen, and it's part of HTC's brand new Sense 5. Setup is in a tiled formation feature and introduces an easier way to follow information that's relevant to you, including social updates, news, entertainment, and lifestyle updates. HTC secured over 1,400 media sources like ESPN, MTV, Vice Media, Cool Hunting, etc., all of which can dynamically fill your Blink Feed for at-a-glance viewing. It sounds excruciating for battery life, but HTC is pretty hopeful their 2,300 mAh battery can get users through an entire day without worrying. Right now, though, you cannot add new feeds. You have to deal with what HTC has put in there for you, but they do have 1,400 options. Alright, so it's the next new feature. There's the One's ultra pixel camera, which is going to be an area of great controversy. HTC says it will, and I quote, redefine how people capture, relive, and share their precious moments with a completely custom camera. HTC says the f2.0 aperture lens and sensor capable of gathering 300% more light than competing smartphone camera sensors, and that's saying a lot when Nokia's PureView is still in town. In addition to a completely redone sensor, HTC's also developed they're calling multi-axis optical image stabilization, help users capture the best possible HD video. An image chip 2.0 has been stuffed into the One's aluminum body, and its f2.0 lens allegedly simulates normal's 28mm lenses. So what HTC is hoping to achieve here is not only crisp images, but ones that look beautiful when adequate light sources aren't present. Now your family photos, whenever you decide to take them, hopefully they won't look so blurry, they'll look nice and crisp. And according to HTC, the era of the megapixel is over. HTC said on stage during its One announcement earlier today, we developed our own custom technology called the ultra pixel camera. It captures 300% more light, which allows users to capture ghostless HDR video and capture amazing photos in low light conditions. So it sounds kinda cool. Certainly HDR video is awesome, but what's really gonna freak people out a little bit is that it's just a 4 megapixel sensor. And that's what HTC is trying to prep people for by saying the megapixel race doesn't count. It's only 4 megapixels. The megapixels don't necessarily determine how good the image looks. Certainly it gets misconstrued. Megapixels really, for only blowing the image up, matter. But certainly 4 is way on the lower side than what we're used to seeing, especially with the PureView camera that I just mentioned. So we're very curious to see what pictures are actually going to look like on the HTC One and see if the new technology really is working, whether or not it's just a poor excuse to put a low sensor in there. That has yet to be seen. So HTC is also hoping to entice viewers with something they're called Zoe, which is essentially just like Vine. It makes animated GIFs. Zoe lets users capture high-res photos that come to life in 3-second snippets, and then introduces professional editing software to help you create highlight reels for your life that can then easily be shared on your preferred social network. Finally, the new HTC One has something called Boom Sound, which brings front-facing stereo speakers with a dedicated amplifier to the 4.7-inch form factor. It sounds like marketing fluff, but HTC says users will experience richer YouTube videos and better overall call quality, particularly in noisy environments. There's also an HDR recording option on board that uses voodoo techniques and dual microphones for the best possible audio fidelity on the recording side. So kinda neat. Most speakers are usually on the back of phones and you rest them on a table that can get muffled. So having those sort of front-facing speakers should really be helpful. Again, we'll sort of hold out all thoughts until we actually get a chance to see the phone. Overall, the specs on this guy look awesome. It looks like a jacked up Droid DNA with a little smaller screen. If you ever use a DNA, having a 1080p screen is freaking incredible. But it's also a huge drain on battery life. So really putting this guy through the paces will be a huge help. No word yet on pricing. We do know that it's going to be coming sometime in early March to every US carrier except for Verizon and a whole bunch of carriers abroad. So that's AT&T, T-Mobile, and Sprint. So sorry, Verizon folks, Droid DNA is what you guys got. It looks really awesome. Todd Hazelton was there, had a chance to take a look at the phone. He said it feels really solid. Said as good as this phone like the iPhone feels in the hand, this one feels just as good. HTC's long been known for their awesome build quality. Looks to be a pretty impressive device with a really powerful form factor. Super curious to put it through its paces, test it, and see how it lives up, but I really want to test that 4 megapixel camera, which seems even crazy to say, and see how well it works. See if HTC is really just putting some marketing speak over us, whether or not it really is one of the best cameras on the market. Love to hear what you guys think about the HTC One. Leave your comments down below. I am John Rettinger from Techno Buffalo, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And if you like this, give it a thumbs up, it really helps out.